Hey, what is up, everybody? It's Harrison Barron, the Millennial Entrepreneur, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about some things, 5 things to be exact, that I wish I knew before I even started my business. And if you're thinking about starting a business, this video is definitely going to help you no matter what industry you're going into. This is a kind of broad brush stroke over a various amount of different industries, and the principles and ideas that you're about to learn in this are absolutely applicable no matter what industry, no matter what business you're looking to start. It's going to be completely possible to apply all of these to every single thing that you're going to be doing, no matter what, across the board, I promise you. And if you find this video helpful, please leave a comment below with a yes or no. If you really enjoy it, smash that subscribe button and definitely destroy the like button. That tremendously helps the channel, and it helps my videos get out to other like-minded individuals like yourself, and just helps the algorithm essentially. So, first things first, plan. No matter what you're doing, no matter what industry you're getting into, no matter what you have in your mind, there has to be a plan associated with it. And it's so critically important that you have that. And I'm gonna tell you why right now. If you do not plan for whatever you're doing, you are going to run into a couple issues. Not a lot, but having an idea of where you're going. For example, nobody gets into their car and just drives. There are a couple people, but they never get to a destination. Unless they're looking for some kind of spark of ingenuity, or they're just doing it to release or relax their mind, chances are pretty good that they have a purpose of where they're going. They have a plan on where they're getting there. If they don't have a plan on how they're gonna get there, they're gonna use this handy little device that's gonna help get them there. And the reason why it's important is because that's going to plan your trip on how to get to that location. Ultimately, so you can get to the end goal. What you're gonna do in this plan is everything from finding who you're going to be targeting, looking for different ways to grow the business, software, all of these different things, especially monetary plans. A lot of people don't plan on how much money they're going to be making or they want to make by the end of this year. For example, if your goal, if you're starting in January, is to hit $100,000 by December or the end of December, what does that mean? That means you have to make $50,000 by June, July. That means you have to make $25,000 in the first quarter and about $25,000 in every quarter following. And if you have a deficit in one quarter, you have to make up the gain in another quarter to have that $100,000. I would love for you to crush it and go 10x your goals, but not always realistic, especially when you're a new entrepreneur. Nobody really tells you exactly how to start and run a business. So that is a major, I don't want to say problem, but learning experience in itself. Second thing, work in the industry. It is so important that you work in the industry for so many reasons. Reason one, you're going to get a ton of experience. You're going to learn all about how you find clients and all that kind of stuff, and structuring your future business just like somebody else has already done is going to make your life a million times easier. It's going to make it so much more impactful and so much faster to get started because you're already working off of what somebody else has done. Doesn't mean you're copying exactly what they're doing, but learn, go into that industry, go into that company and learn what they're doing wrong and learn what they're doing right so you can make those decisions later on that are going to help tremendously impact your business. Get as much knowledge as you can. I would say in about 6 months to a year, you're probably going to max out as far as learning, where you're going to get about 80 to 90% of everything that you're going to need to know. And then, staying for those additional years is when you're going to get into that, additional 10 or 20% extra that you didn't know you needed afterwards. Now, it takes a long time to get those, so I think in about 6 months to a year, you're going to get a majority of all the information you need. And then, of course, there's always going to be, separating a really good person from an expert. Third, build a network. Become friends with a lot of employees, not only in your company, but from other companies as well. It's super important. Those people are going to be the people that you ask for help down the road. And if you think that you're not going to need help, I promise you, you're going to need it eventually. Nobody gets to the top alone. There's a great saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. It's the same principle in business. If you want to go far, you got to go together. You can go fast really quick and make some good money alone, but the long-term sustainability is going to be based around a team. So that's not always the case, but that's usually the general rule of thumb. So start to become friends with your other coworkers, people in other companies and all that kind of stuff, because when you have an issue, and I'm the first person to say it, I had an issue a couple weeks ago, I jumped on the phone with one of my competitors right away and said, hey, I really need a favor. Can you help me out? And usually, 9 times out of 10, they're always going to help you out. They might charge you for it, but chances are pretty good they're going to help you out. And look, worst comes to worst, you ask them, hey, can you tell me how you do that so I could learn how to do that in the future and I don't need to bother you and I don't need to pay you. Yes, they will do that, I promise you. People are better than you might think they are. That is how the world works, especially the business world, I promise you. 4, research, research, research. Just because your company that you're working for does it a certain way doesn't mean it's the best way possible. There is a bunch of CRMs on the market, for example. There's Salesforce, there's Zoho, there's HubSpot, there's all of these different ones. You have to find what's going to work best for you. Spend the time while you're getting somebody else's paycheck to research them all and figure out what's going to be the best. I myself, I burned $300 on Salesforce. It was not for me. I figured that out. It was a costly mistake, especially when I was a new business owner, and it sucks. But I did find a software that works really well for me. I use HubSpot. I can tell you guys that right now. And it works really, really well for me. It does exactly what I needed to do, and it helps me scale my business. I wish I did more research in the beginning and instead of spending that money. It also would have immediately projected me further into the future and really increase my business. But that's one of the things that you take kind of for granted, but you don't really know that yet because you have to make those mistakes to learn what's really going to work for you. But I definitely could have spent a lot more time researching, a lot more time going on demos and stuff like that, especially when I was with my old company. And that way, when I did take the leap of faith of starting my own company, I would have been significantly further ahead. Number 5, and probably in my opinion, and it might be a little biased, is the most important, and that is developing your web presence. We live in a digital age today, and because of that, you need to know where you exist on the internet. If you do not have a web presence, chances are pretty good you might not fail, but it's going to take a tremendous amount of time to get as big as you really want to. And it's not a bad thing. The easiest way to start building a web presence is start a website. Don't put your name on it or anything like that, and start to blog, start to learn SEO, and just watch a bunch of videos. There's a ton of good stuff. This channel, for example, is going to be a great source for videos on how to build your web presence, how to build your social media presence, and there's a ton of other channels on how to build your SEO, how to get really good SEO results, and all these kinds of things that are going to help you that you could be doing while you're working for somebody else. Doesn't mean you need to compete. All you need to do is get that traffic, start educating people, start writing about what you're doing and how you're doing it and things going on in the industry to start building that traffic around your website. Even if it's not the clicks that you really want, just getting that volume is going to help you get found by the people that you really want to get found by. And when all of that happens, now it's going to be able to make your life a lot easier. So when you do take that leap of faith, maybe you are getting a couple thousand or even a couple hundred clicks a month, where if one of those converts every month, you're starting to get on the right track to fulfill your plan. Maybe it's to make $100,000 a year. But if you started your business on January of, let's say, 2018, kind of like myself, but I started blogging and writing and building my web presence in 2017, well, you're going to get significantly further. So when you take that leap of faith, that's one thing that I really wish I did. And not that it's a bad thing that I did it the way I did it, but it would have made my life so much easier, learning, really mastering everything on the side and just writing blogs about it, just getting found by my target customer and really reading books. That's kind of like a pro tip. Read a lot of books, especially in your industry. Find out what other people are reading. When you're talking to your CRMs or you're talking to your softwares, be like, hey, by the way, weird question. Do you guys have any books that you recommend for me to read that'll help build my online presence or help build my future company? And they'll give you more than likely a couple of them. There's tons of books. Why your business should be in the cloud. Why you need the CRM, how to build your online presence, all of these different things. Start consuming all of these books and learning about building your presence. That way, when you do take the leap of faith, it's much, much, much easier. That is definitely the biggest takeaway as far as this goes, is really, especially when you're thinking about it, give it another 6 months, give it a year. I do definitely recommend taking that plunge, but try to build your online presence as much as possible. And the other reason why I say that is you're going to get into business networking, but there's only so much you can do. You can only be in so many places at once. A website and blogs can educate people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, where you can only educate people if you're in front of them or you're having conversations with them. And you're repeating yourself a million times over and over again. So I would highly, highly recommend, if you're going to do that, definitely spend some time learning SEO, marketing, and stuff like that. Even if you don't want to do it yourself, you can know exactly what you're going to be getting when you go look for an SEO company or something like that. I hope this was really helpful. This is Harrison Barron, the entrepreneur. If you found this video helpful, definitely leave a comment, smash that subscribe button. I would really, really appreciate it. And absolutely destroy that like button. It tremendously helps this channel. I'll see you guys later.